introduction, I will let you know I grew up in North Georgia. And yes, I used to talk just like that lady on the video. I've now been in Texas for 14 years. And so my North Georgia accent that I lost in Tampa is starting to come back. But I picked up some new words along the way. So I picked up some words like folks. That's a uniquely Texas word, folks, you folks. And you'll hear me probably say it by accident a few times. Things like sure enough and cattywampus. That one's pretty interesting. And I'm told that means it's something that doesn't fit properly or is out of line. Conniption. Conniption is to have conniptions is when you get upset and you raise a ruckus. And usually you do that because something's cattywampus. Womperjaw. Who knows what womperjaw is? You Texans, do y'all know what womperjaw is? Okay, womperjaw is when something is not fitting properly. So you'll never get that wine open, the corkscrew is all womperjaw. And then shoot is another explicative that you might use if something is womperjaw. So then there's the go ahead on. I'll catch up with you later. And where'd ya? As in, where did you go? Usually answered with over yonder, which is a directional phrase meaning over there. But I don't consider myself a very girly girl. I'm never called it. I was a girly girl growing up. But God has just given me a very girly way to share His message, and I'm so excited to have that and to be used in that way. He's shown me a love story, and I want to share that love story. Fairy tale stories, I still do. And Cinderella just came out. How many of you know Cinderella? What is it about these stories that we still draw us over and over and over again? But as little girls especially, and some of you who have little girls, you know this too, that we love princess tales. We love the story of being the damsel in distress, the princess in need of a knight in shining armor. We grow up looking for that handsome prince to come and rescue us. And there's something that just draws us to these tales. And so there's some common elements related to fairy tales. They always begin with once upon a time. They end in happily ever after. There's a villain. There's always a villain. And the villain is trying to keep the princess from recognizing her true noble identity. You have a helper or a guardian, like the fairy godmother or some of those. You have a helper that comes along. And then the story climaxes with this selfless sacrifice of a loving rescuer. And that's the part we always love the most. Usually the princess goes through a metamorphosis, an inward transformation and an outward transformation. And eventually the villain is defeated and his power over her is lost. And that which he intended to destroy her ultimately becomes the thing that empowers her to live and experience life to fullest. Through genuine humility and thankfulness and character. So this deep longing that I think is in the heart of women in particular, I believe has been put there by God. And it has a purpose, and it's God's way of drawing us into a loving relationship with Him. And I begin to think about this longing that we have, and then I begin to think about Jesus. And the Bible describes